want to do it one last time.
You're listening to PHP Ugly episode 134.1.1. I'm your host, Tom Rideout. With me, as always, my co-host, Eric Van Johnson.
Good to see you, Thomas. Really happy to be here. Having a great time.
Nice to see you again. And our occasional guest and co-host, John Congdon.
Still occasionally been here for like an hour now, trying to get this up and running.
It's only been a half an hour.
Actually, we just
45-ish minutes.
We just started. What are you guys talking about? All right, I will repeat what I've said 2 other times before now because we're going to edit this post in YouTube. We are trying a new streaming configuration using OBS.
It's going great.
We've run into a few glitches, much like we did last week. The people listening to us live have been a huge help. If you want to listen to us live and actually participate in the show, now you can. If you look right above me, our Discord chat is streaming live with our show now. So as people are talking in our Discord channel, you're seeing what's being talked about, including all naughty words and stuff.
Could be really bad.
If you're wondering how to get to our Discord, if you look over Thomas's head over here, that is our Discord link. And you just go in there, and the thing that's being streamed is our general chat, so just feel free to pop into general chat. And
now, why would you not make that an easier short URL than having to type in all those characters?
That's a Discord URL. I have no control over that.
Which you could put a bit.ly link, bit.ly/PHP or something.
Anyways, there's the Discord link over there if you want it. Again, if you're listening to the podcast, the audio version of the podcast, we're adding some pizzazz to the live stream now. So that's what's caused all these headaches. We've been trying to bring more to the table so that if you want to watch the stream, there's stuff to watch. We're going to share browsers and things that we're talking about. So feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. What did you say? Smash the like button, hit bell notifications, and do all those things all those YouTubers tell you to do, and I guess good things will come your way. I'm done. Said. You guys take over the rest of the show. I'm finished. And look, I prepared this week. I poured a beer beforehand, so
I prepared too. I got a nice little bubbly water.
Yeah.
I prepared. I have 1.5 now bottles of IPA.
Okay, so first off, happy post-Merry Christmas, everybody. We didn't really talk about the fact that
by the time this comes out, it's also going to be post New Year's too. So happy 2019.
You don't know that. I could get this edited out in like
5 days.
Unusual time frame.
I'll tell you what, I did the thing where I stripped the audio from YouTube last week, and people replied. They're like, the quality wasn't that bad. I mean, we miss the occasion when we need to like silence one stream because there's background noise or a kid crying or something like that. But fortunately, we didn't have that issue last week, so it was actually not that difficult. I just stripped the whole thing and from YouTube and ran it through Audacity, and yeah, it was great.
Awesome. Thomas, you asked about Christmas since Eric keeps rambling on about.
Yes. How was everyone's Christmas?
Holy crap.
Eric, I love you. You know that.
I don't believe it.
Christmas for me was both great and not so great. But that's the beauty of having a 4 and a 2-year-old. You forget how selfish is the wrong word. How selfish young kids can be.
Yeah.
There's nothing is enough. Is there more? Is there more? It's like, just you've got something you can play with now. Go play. No, there's no more.
You got to break me that fast because I'm dealing with that too, and it's driving me insane.
Yeah, and it's hard because we went over to my in-laws' house for Christmas, and it's chaos. There's so many people, so many gifts, and it just leads right into that with the whole, is there more? What else? Can I open another? Just slow down, kid. You've got plenty.
Yeah, see, I don't have that problem anymore. My kids are 20 and they just want to get done. They want to exchange gifts and move on. They have things to do that day. So yeah, I kind of miss it. You need to embrace it as long as you have it, John. That's all I have to say. Because when it's gone, it hurts when it's gone, man.
It is super awesome seeing like the the interaction between the boys. First of all, is amazing. They do a really good job as far as sharing their toys. They do a really good job of, when you're done with that, man, can I have a turn? Which is great. And I always tell them, when the other one says no, it's nope. The answer is always yes to that question. There will be a time when you're not using that. When you're not using it, you share it. Uh, so that part was great. Uh, watching them understand the the whole Christmas theme and being excited about it is so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. How
And
about
Thomas,
you, Thomas? How was
you're in
your
the
Christmas?
you're in the middle.
I didn't have kids for Christmas, and that
Oh
was the
yeah,
greatest gift of all.
that's right. You took the week off. How much work did you do?
None. I have done no work. I have been off my computer. I've been hanging out and spending a lot of time with my wife, and it's been fantastic. Uh, Occasionally dealing with chaos from the kids calling and texting about which present they want and if it's there yet and if we got it yet. Did we get it? Did you get it? Did you mom talk about it? Have you gotten it yet? And so that's been fun. But no, they're with their biological dad and their grandparents, and they're having a grand old time in California while I am doing all of my Christmas shopping during the post-Christmas sales. So that's been super cool. It turns out that there's these pop-up stores in the malls now that are just for Christmas, and the days following Christmas, everything is 50% off, the whole store. So
Right,
we
they
just
have to
went,
get out of there.
yeah, we just went crazy in there today, and got so much stuff, and way too much stuff.
So basically, you
And
spent the same you would have. You just got more of it, more crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which for where my kids are right now, that's perfectly fine because my kids are in the ironically cool phase of life where we can get them Minions stuff and Transformers and Power Rangers, and they think it's hilarious because it's so uncool. So they're deep into that zone. They're way into that. We got them tons of just clearance, cut, discount, every cent off that they wanted to get rid of it, and it worked out well. Although I'm very sore. Spending 4 hours in the mall is not what I had expected it to be.
What did you expect 4 hours in the mall to be?
I didn't
Did you?
expect to go to the mall for 4 hours, I guess is what I'm saying. I just hadn't thought about it at all.
I'm surprised you weren't a little altered going to the mall for 4 hours. Couple beers
No,
on the way.
they keep the mall at some early hours, so I'd have to start at like brunch and just get really mimosa'd up for
You,
that to work.
well, you're on vacation, so that's okay. That's the way
Yeah,
I always treat it.
so I wake up at noon.
Yeah.
And then we go
Wake
out to
up, couple
brunch at 2.
mimosas. What's wrong with that? I'm still
Well,
confused on where the
because
problem's at.
we already did that 3 times this week, and we're trying to lay a little bit lower.
Ah,
But
now
it's
the
been
truth
fun.
comes out. See, I had to drag it out of you to get the answer.
Yeah, yeah. Not having kids has been a a real boon to the Coors Light industry or the craft beer industry. It's been nice, but it'll be good to have them back. They're only gone for 1 week instead of like when my wife didn't leave me for a month. So
didn't, in quotes. I saw that.
yeah, they didn't. They didn't. My wife didn't leave me. That's entirely Eric's manufacturing. And I don't know. I don't know what Eric is doing with OBS now. He's just going crazy on the screens.
You have to stop watching it.
Yeah, you can't watch it. I'm fixing a few screens that I haven't gotten yet. So
What about you, Eric?
Well, Eric's already talked. Let him take a break. Let him calm down a little bit. So, while doing show prep, I noticed that our friend Michael Dorinda, who's currently in our Discord channel, had a very interesting tweet that was fun. So, let's play this game. There was a tweet. Quote this tweet with your top 3 personal accomplishments of 2018.
Oh, God.
And Michael Dorinda's was, 1, he became a dad, which is a pretty good accomplishment.
that's easy to do. What are you talking about?
Hosted a conference. Hey, we're on the same wavelength there.
Done that. Whatever. So, next.
And increased my 4-core 1RM list. See, I didn't understand that one, Michael. You have to explain that to me.
What does it say? Increased is what?
Increased my 4-core 1RM lifts.
Oh, it's the weightlifting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
It's a
is
bench.
1RM? Oh, 1 arm? 1 RM? I don't get it. How do you know this?
Have you noticed how grumpy Santa is right now, John?
No. I'm so confused.
He just seems very angry at everything now that Christmas is over. The stream's not working. It doesn't get all the chances he wants to talk.
1 rep max.
Oh.
I got
What is-
weights for Christmas.
What is the...
All
what
right,
is the
so
Oh. Deadlifts, bench, shoulder press, and squat.
all right, so listen. All right, so you put the challenge out.
Awesome.
All right,
Congrats.
what was your three accomplishments? Thomas, go 2018.
Let's start with John.
Start with me. I asked the question, and then somehow Eric turned it into his question. That's
Let's
not
start
fair.
with Eric.
Me.
Hosted a conference. I liked his there. That was awesome. Because that took a lot of work and a lot of time. Had a heart attack. That was a big accomplishment. And completely changed my lifestyle. Huge accomplishment. Lost almost 25 pounds now. That's a great accomplishment. I'll remove the heart attack one because that sucked. But losing a lot of weight. Happy with that. I'm playing Ultimate way better than I ever have now because of it. I'm in a good mood. What can I say?
It's weird.
You think
It's weird
about
to
quitting
have-
programming and going pro?
No.
All right, Tom, it's your turn.
I went to a conference, which for me is a big deal. Getting myself out of the house and moving, big deal. I've been developing my relationship with my kids. It's been difficult, but I think things are improving. And I'm taking a lot more responsibility as a husband should around the house, doing the basic tasks that a person is supposed to know that they're supposed to do, but doesn't do.
I'm in the same boat there with you, and I'm trying to do the same thing.
I'm getting good at it.
Can you give me some tips, some pointers?
Well, I'll give you the same pointer I gave my kids, which is if you see something that needs to get cleaned up or taken care of, just take care of it the moment you see it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm learning that one myself.
Yeah, that's the hard one for me. Working out is a motivation issue. I don't know how to build that motivation up in myself.
You have to somehow challenge yourself and just do it for a short amount of time, and then it'll become a habit.
Yeah, I'm working on building a lot of beneficial habits. I would say that my big accomplishments are my large collection of habits that I'm working on.
All right, Eric, your
Yeah,
turn.
Wave PHP as well.
What's that?
What'd you accomplish, Eric?
Oh,
Stole a Vespa. I mean, that's a pretty good one.
that's a got away with stealing a Vespa. Apparently, yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, the hosting a conference was huge for me. In all honesty, I really did most of the hosting. John just took credit for it. So there's that. No. I don't know. I think establishing the new DiegoDev offices, I've taken a lot more pride in that and appreciation in that than I thought I would. I'm really enjoying the new offices we've put together. That I think is creeping up near the top of my list. I did some traveling this year. Went some places that I had no excuse to go except I wanted to be there. Vancouver was an example of that.
Ladies' room does not count.
I went up to Vancouver. I got to visit with some friends, Sean from LaraChat, Kaylin, who works with us at DiegoDev. Went up there with the wife, and we just did husband and wife stuff up there. No kids.
Whoa, TMI. TMI.
And
calm down, killer.
so that was nice. And we did some other traveling this year as well. So it was nice to do that. I think that was it. Yeah. I mean, pretty chill year for me. I think pretty much.
That's good.
So any big plans for 2019? Any goals? Does anybody have any goals for 2019?
I wanna build a site. I want to build something for myself. I work for a company producing essentially one product all day, every day. I have lots of ideas, but I keep getting these blockers that I can't overcome because I don't have the willpower or patience to overcome them. And I need to get something done this year. I need a SaaS or some kind of service site that I can make money off of.
Fair enough. John, any plans for 2019?
Wave PHP.
Oh, is this the announcement?
No, it's not.
The big announcement?
Not an official announcement, but we're putting work towards it. We set some milestones today, and
I mean, I think we've announced that we're doing it. I don't think that's a secret.
It's just we don't have contracts signed, so we can't announce dates until we have something secured. That seems kind of silly
honestly,
to do.
We're doing things a little differently this year in the sense that we're gonna need to secure sponsorship as well. I mean, we're not going to be able to just say we're doing this irregardless. I mean, last year DiegoDev flipped the bill for 90% of that conference, and DiegoDev isn't in a position to do that again. So I mean, there are some factors involved, and sponsorship will be one of those. Sorry, John, didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I missed an accomplishment. Is I made it to Diamond 3 on Rocket League.
Don't know what that is. Don't care.
I'd be very happy to reach champion by next year.
Not important.
Go on, John. What do you have planned?
Diamond 3, that's crazy. I can't even make it out of Bronze 2.
Because they're not real things. That's why they're not real. So
they're very real to us.
Yes. So looking forward to Wave PHP, getting that up and running. More work on mission control, getting that more traction. That is at getmissioncontrol.io, in case you're wondering.
Would that be getmissioncontrol.io, John?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
We've started setting some milestones for that and hoping to make some accomplishments there. Overall, and traveling. I have already some dates set aside with my family to do some traveling, and looking forward to that. So I think it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, I think mission control is going to be one of my big targets for this year. I really want to start to build that up. And as I was saying to some people in Discord, with it being our product and stuff, I'm looking to maybe even do some live coding and streaming and sharing and what we do with mission control. I like the whole transparency and giving some people some insight, but yeah, I think mission control will be a big one for me in 2019 and see what we can make of that.
Speaking of live coding, I shared with you earlier, Eric. I'm not much of a Twitch person. I have a Twitch account. I can't even remember why. But I happened to see that Adam Culp, who does Sunshine PHP, started a Twitch channel where he's basically doing live coding. And he's got a couple episodes out there right now, and it's been interesting. He's basically where you are at, Thomas, where always doing work for a company and not having the time set aside to do his own thing, not able to learn new technologies like he would like to. So he decided to start this Twitch stream to be able to test out new technologies and basically share his learning experience with everybody, which I thought was really cool. It's not him trying to show off and show that he knows a topic so much as, hey, I'm going to go learn this and I'm going to share the journey with you.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's called, I didn't say it, it's called Beach Casts on Twitch.
Right. And I think there's a way, honestly, I think there's a way you can stream to YouTube through Twitch. I need to check that out because I'd be happy doing that as well.
That is a violation of terms of service.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
Oh, I thought you could do that. I thought Twitch actually had it set up where if you stream to Twitch, it would automatically publish to your YouTube channel.
Nope, they will get very angry at you on YouTube for that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we won't be doing that then. Do we care? Do we care if we're on Twitch or YouTube? I don't know. I don't particularly care.
Well, I think we care a little about YouTube because we're broadcasting to it right now.
Okay. Well, we'll just stay with YouTube then. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. What are you saying moving forward? Do you really care? And I don't. There's so many like content creators that have ditched YouTube for other services. Not that we have a huge audience on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, that's a monetization issue. We're not making any money.
Yeah, we're not. We're not trying to make any money.
We don't have interstitial ads yet.
Since we're promoting other people and other things, I just mentioned I went up to Vancouver this year and visited Sean, and Sean's the mind behind LaraChat Slack and LaraChat Live. So the LaraChat Live podcast, and there's a LaraChat.co website. Whoa.
You have not cleared this, talking about this through me. Should you really be talking? Not just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, make sure you clear it with the guest before you talk about it with your co-host.
Anyways, Sean's a great guy. He's been in the Laravel community for a long time, and he redid the LaraChat website, larachat.co. Let me get the URL up there for you. He redid it with a nice new layout and stuff, but one of the things he did with it is he has a new curated articles list where he curates articles from around the web and publishes them through the site. So it's not like Laravel News where they write their own articles. I mean, I think Laravel News, they don't write all their articles, but they write a good portion of their articles. This is just Sean going through basically RSS feeds and curating lists and republishing them. But if you're like me and you're into your stories and keeping up on news around PHP, check it out. It's at larachat.co/articles. There's a lot of articles in here with regards to Laravel, obviously, because he's a Laravel guy and it's a Laravel site. But there's also a lot of articles on here about general PHP news and things like that. So he's really done a really good job at curating this list. It's got to be one of the better ones I've come across. And I have a RSS reader just jam packed with RSS feeds, and there's a couple people out there that do a pretty good job. I think PHP. What's the one called PHP Anywhere? I think is the one guy who does it. But Sean's doing a great job. If you're looking for a good place to find articles on PHP in Laravel, check it out.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, is your RSS reader full because you don't go back and read the articles like me?
Yeah.
I don't even have an RSS reader anymore because I will mark stuff or I'll subscribe and then just never read.
That's what tabs are for.
Yeah.
Well, I have those too. It's like, oh, look, this is interesting. And 300 tabs later, Chrome crashes. I lose them all.
Well, then you didn't need them.
Of course I did. I wanted to read them. They were interesting to me.
So, Thomas, how's your life without Facebook? Oh, was that not a topic we should have brought up?
Well, I still use Facebook.
It lasted 10 minutes. He stayed away for 10 minutes.
It turns out there's 3 people, not just one, that I keep connected with on Facebook.
Right? I'm telling you, this is a real thing. This is what I was explaining.
So what do I do about that? I'm just stuck now. I just have Facebook and I'm just stuck with it.
Yeah,
you add them to an SMS group and you just text them directly.
But no, I don't do that.
Yeah,
I certainly don't do that.
That's interesting. So that quickly you felt that impact, huh? See, I'm an uncaring individual. I didn't even notice, like, it didn't even dawn on me until I forgot why I went back to Facebook. It might have been for an unhappy reason based on the stuff that happened to me, but within the last around that time. But something took me back to Facebook, and I realized a lot of the information I had been missing out on. So, I mean, I could have been a jerk and just not cared about it and just stay. I'm still really bad at checking Facebook, which I don't think is a problem, but I understand what you're saying. It's like you almost feel like held hostage. Like, this is really the only avenue of communication you have for certain people in your life.
Yeah, and there was a time where I had Twitter and Facebook connected, so I could tweet something out. But Facebook changed their API so that Twitter could no longer do that.
Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so now it's just Facebook is a walled garden. There's no way of making sure that your communication goes to all platforms or anything like that. It has to be Facebook specific. It's very annoying.
I don't know. I search or look through my Facebook feed just to keep tabs on some things, but most of the people that I'm quote unquote friends with share crap that I really don't want to read or makes me not happy. So I often wonder why I even go back to Facebook.
Well, that's one of the things I did when I went back to Facebook. I really started to curate, very much like I did with my Twitter feed. I really started to curate my feed and, telling Facebook, I don't want to see these posts anymore. I don't want to see posts from these people anymore, on this topic anymore, this subject anymore. And
this guy is technically my friend, but he's a total clown. I don't ever want to hear from him.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I've tried that, and it doesn't seem to work. I still get all the crap, so. And I can't tell you how often I go to reply to a post, and I'll type out a reply, and then just like, screw it, and just delete it all.
Yeah, I don't engage in real conversation on Facebook unless it's real late at night.
Right, same here. And one time I did it recently was with my mother, who shared in one of her crazy posts, and I was quick to respond like, just stop this crap. 5 seconds of research, and I gave a URL. I forget to which site now, but debunking the meme she shared as, oh, they took images from 6 years ago and other pieces from 3 years ago, and they put it together and made up this story. And it was late at night, so the next day I'm like, ah, crap, I shouldn't have responded to that. So I go to look for it, and she actually removed the post.
See? Progress.
There you go.
Well, she
One
probably
post
did
at
out
a
of
time.
anger. I don't know that she actually took to heart what I said. She probably still believes the post was real.
Yeah, I had a
But she removed it.
had a-
That's what's important.
very Catholic friend who I occasionally unmute and then have to mute again on Facebook because, oof, talk about poorly informed memes. It's just rampant through the Catholic community, and I don't know why.
Why not?
We got an interesting invite today or yesterday from Facebook asking us to establish a DiegoDev workplace on Facebook, which is I
think we have one on there.
No. We have a company site on Facebook. Workplace is actually an internal communication tool for working through Facebook.
Oh,
so
really?
it's like a CMS tool.
What a horrifying idea!
And that's exactly how they're promoting it. They're promoting it to do all your project management, and it says communicate, collaborate, and connect across desktop, mobile, using familiar features like groups, chat, and video calls.
Oh my god! What a horrifying idea!
And
I hope you said no.
Oh no! I established this. We're okay. We got in. We're fine. But no, yeah, and I mean there's the standard version which is free, and then there's the premium version which is $3 a user, and it's crazy. I mean, I like I said, I did do one for DiegoDev because I didn't invite any of the DiegoDev people to it or anything. I just started it just to see what
squatting.
was. Yeah, just to see what. Well, I really wanted to see what was in there, and it's an interesting move from Facebook, and not one I had heard of. I didn't realize this was something they were doing. I don't know how new this is, or
data's data, man. They want.
That's it. You're absolutely right, Thomas. That's exactly what it is. I mean, the well is running dry on just your regular consumer data, right? They want more data.
Did you? Speaking of that, though, they seem to be doing stuff like this in the quiet, and then all of a sudden it appears like the Facebook was it Portal.
Yeah.
Maybe. All of a sudden I started seeing ads for this. I'm like, I hadn't even heard about this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
just wait till they buy Jira or GitHub.
They won't buy GitHub, right? They'd have to buy that from Microsoft. I don't think Microsoft's going to sell
Microsoft
GitHub.
won't sell it. Not this year. But that's terrifying. Facebook, man, I think the best I can do with the Facebook situation is just don't integrate it into my life in any new way.
Right.
Try to migrate
to
migrate from it, but don't add anything new. Don't start using the stories and don't start posting video.
So did you remove the... Oh, we already talked about that. You can't remove the app. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I can't uninstall the app. It's permanently on my phone.
Well, you can not sign into it.
Can't control the permissions that it has.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I might end up rooting my phone, so I finally can delete it.
Yeah, might need to.
Can we talk some coding? Would that?
Yeah,
should we do that?
Yeah, I was going to ask if either of you had seen my tweet I sent out yesterday.
No.
Yeah, it's the one time I tweet, so I don't expect anyone to see it. But it actually got a fair amount of retweets. But we are making the move more and more into event sourcing. So I was out there looking for an expert in the field or somebody that uses it on a day-to-day basis that could give a little bit of consulting time. give us advice on a direction to go, because we've got a handful of us that are doing a lot of research, and we have I feel I have a decent understanding of the topic, but haven't put it into practice yet, and want to avoid any pitfalls before going down that road. So trying to use consultants for what they're supposed to be used for and their expertise.
I definitely feel like and I've shared this with a couple of our developers as well, that it's one of those topics, once we get our head around it, it's going to change the way we code moving forward. It's going to change the way we tackle problems and projects. It's really gonna alter our perception of development, I feel. And I'm already feeling that, like watching these videos and listening to what they're saying. I'm like, oh yeah. Why would you not use this? This makes so much sense. But I'm still right at that cusp where it's like I feel like I'm understanding the principles and concepts. I just don't have my head around the implementation yet. And I've been here so many times before, and I know I'm about to get over that hump, and I'm really getting anxious to see what it is that gets me. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be me doing some coding and actually implementing things and getting a feel for it. But man, it's I tell you, it's there.
I think we're close. I mean, we have to do it for this project by the end of Q1, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, we have to have something delivered by the end of Q1.
So we're waiting. We're pushing the edge here. We should have probably started down this road a month ago, trying to find a consultant.
No. But yeah.
So how do you price consultants? Do you just use the same pricing format that you guys have for your own consultants?
No. One, if you're doing it, you ask them what their rate is, and if it's reasonable, you're gonna pay it, because you're only talking an hour or two. You're not.
He's just talking about training, Thomas. He's not talking about bringing him on for the whole project. Just doing some training.
Right.
Okay, it's not like a military consultant where you just stay on forever.
No, it's hey, can you come on? Basically, a mini conference for our developers. Can you come in, do not even a presentation, just start talking to us. Let's have a conversation. Let us tell you what we're trying to accomplish, and then explain any pitfalls you may have experienced along the way. Give us an idea of where to start looking for information. It's that type of consultant. We did it a couple weeks ago with TJ Miller. Came in and talked to us, which was awesome of him. He gave us a couple hours of his time to just discuss a project, and to me, it's worth paying people to give us ideas. Nobody's an expert in every field, so
I like it.
I'm an expert in everything I do.
Yeah, video broadcasting especially.
I'm killing it. Absolutely killing it. I have to say, now that we got it going, it's way better than what we had last week, I feel.
Yes.
So I'm liking it.
You're not lagging near as bad as you were, especially on take one.
Yeah. And I'm already making some notes of a couple things I want to change, but yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So
good.
Yeah, but see, you mentioned that whole needing a consultant thing, and I look at the project that I kind of want to do for myself and think, oh yeah, I don't have $10 to give to a consultant if I needed help. So let's watch me grind to a halt on this one while I'm streaming it on Twitch.
But you're in the best position to do that. That's the thing. It's like you're in the best position to do that because you have a full-time job. You're not talking about quitting your job and if this doesn't work, your family's going to go hungry. You're talking about...
What'd my wife tell you?
You're talking about putting in a few extra hours at night and hacking away on the weekend and trying to build something from scratch, which is something I love about what we do. I mean, you know the people in Discord, Gishu, who's in Discord right now. That guy's not a full-time developer. You know, he has his full-time job, and then he does the grind and pounds away at the keyboard in his free time. And that's something that's great about what we do. You can always do it.
Inspirational.
Yeah. You know, it's this. Come on. The guy can drive a truck for 12 hours a day and code. You can code
At the same time?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's impressive.
You can code for 8 hours a day and then code some more. So
Yes, it's inspirational all the way up until it's depressing.
no, I think I think you're in the best position for that, Thomas. I wouldn't even worry about that. And I mean, you're in a position where if you don't know the right way of doing something, then you code around it until you figure it out. You know, it's
Yeah.
Although we're talking about, what was that guy's name? Greg Young.
Mm-hmm.
We watched again a video he did, a talk he did at PHP.
Dublin, I think PHP Dublin.
The person I wanted to hear this just walked away. So that kind of is pointless.
Yeah, no, Thomas, that's good. Just you're fine. We weren't talking to you or anything. Here, let's take him off screen here. There we go.
You fixed it.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. See if I can find it here. I'm afraid to go to history because I don't know. Actually, what account is?
He's back.
Is he back? This is the wrong account, anyways.
Yeah. So Thomas, as you walked away, I was starting to talk to you.
Oh, this is your fault. I had 2 beers ready. Okay, and I was a beer down by the time we started streaming.
Wow. Anyway, so we watched a talk given by Greg Young that I really liked, and he's talking about how a lot of the things we do, we add accidental complexity into building that product, where if we knew certain things, we could often save like 99% of the development time by using proper tooling.
Mm-hmm.
So it does come back to, sometimes it's right to hire consultants.
Yeah.
If you're spinning your wheels, I guess is the way to say that.
And my other issue though is that there's a chance that the thing I want to develop might conflict with my current employer's business interests.
Well,
So I have to do that whole asking them if it's okay if I develop something that I want to make on my own or not thing.
Well, you have the option there of making it a product that you guys co-own.
I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to approach the subject.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the stream, this is the video that John was talking about. It's from Dutch PHP, and the man's name is what did you say it was, Sean?
Greg Young.
Greg Young, yeah, Greg Young. And it's probably one of the best videos on event sourcing, explaining what it is and how you do it. It's a great talk. So if event sourcing is something that interests you, I'll toss this link in the show notes as well. Check out this video. It's a really good video.
And he's a great talker or presenter too. So it's not a drain to sit through it. You know, you hear some presenters and you're like, oh, when will it end? He's got a good speaking style, which is nice.
Yeah. And it's from 2016, so that's cool.
Yeah. Still very relevant, no matter how you look at it.
Very, very relevant.
So, Eric, you brought up talking about coding. Did you have something else since I stampeded in there?
No, my question. Or wait, did I ask my question?
Yes. No, you asked if we wanted to talk coding, and then I jumped in with my tweet.
I was curious how. So when we talked to you last, you were warming up more and more to the Laravel framework. I was wondering how that was going for you.
It, it's going well. I mean, haven't done much since because of the holidays, but I have my microservice up and running, and it's not technically being used in production, but it's in production. It can be hit. It's getting data from a production database, so it's doing all the things it's supposed to do. It's just a matter of now switching the current code base to use that microservice instead of either hitting the database directly or going through some very, very old code.
So I don't think we talked about what brought you to Laravel for this microservice, because I know that the project you're talking about and the client you're working with, very large legacy app, but no notable framework. I mean, they kind of built their own framework, but no notable framework to speak of. Was this something that you had to pitch to them, or did they just say, do whatever you want, and you decided to do this, or was this a direction?
It's a few layers there. So the code base you're referring to that has no framework runs the entire business, and the code is 15 years old, and it has the ideas of a lot of the modern frameworks as far as has a front controller, has a homegrown router. It definitely is legacy. We've got some newer developers in there that look at it and like, what? Why? But it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just taking a lot of work and it's improving. But anyway, that code base is hitting the main database. It's a very large database. It's the best database. It's got the best fields. Sorry, bad Trump impression. It interacts with PBX asterisk servers completely separately, and it has its own database that it uses. So basically, the code I'm replacing is sitting in the middle of these two pieces.
You're describing a nightmare I had once.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So the idea around this middle piece of code was just that. It was basically an API endpoint. The main code base would hit that, get data from this second database. The problem is that code is not in version control. It was written 10, 12 years ago, and not in any sort of framework, not in any sort of object-oriented way per se. No front controller. It's just you're hitting a file, passing in a lot of parameters like $A equals and what your action is. So from there, it would then figure out, oh, you want to call this function. So when I first started talking to them, I'm like, we need to get this into version control at a minimum. And if we ever want to upgrade out of PHP 5.3, which is what it's on now, we have no easy way to test it in later versions. So he approached me about, well, let's rewrite it. And if we rewrite it, how are we gonna do it? And asked me if I wanted to basically just do that, rewrite it into a framework. And if I did, what framework would I choose? I said Laravel because I know a lot of people in that space. If I have questions, I can ask them. And that's how that was born.
I got my first question from John this week.
John
Funny. Asked me, because we were discussing last week how quick to respond and helpful you were, Eric. So John asked me a very simple question: is how does he access the server super global in Laravel? While I was on my phone, on the couch, talking to my wife. So it immediately made me look like I had no idea what I was talking about because I couldn't just answer the question off the top of my head. And
don't worry, I figured it out.
Within 5 minutes or so, I gave him an answer, and then I gave him a couple more explanations as to why that was my answer. And my big thing was that I started with Laravel in the 4.2 days.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I told John. I'm like, everything's in the request. Like, just look at the request and see what's in there. It's gonna be in there. I think he was looking for. You were trying to get the IP address, I think, at the time, right? The remote IP.
Yeah.
Right. And it turns out that's just request arrow IP.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you get it. Everything.
Well, no, not request arrow IP, because then that can be overridden by a get or a put or a post. That's a magic.
You want to get to the actual server variable.
Right. So you want to say request server IP address. Otherwise, somebody could post IP and mess up your stuff.
Right. Fair. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the nice things about managing requests in Laravel. It's like there's so much information in the request. It's nice. It's pretty easy to get to.
Why'd you move away from I honestly didn't read your response. So why'd you move away from DI
Fair
for
enough.
the request? Why are you not injecting the request into your controllers?
Because all that ended up doing was repeating code for me. The request method gives you the same thing as a dependency injected request variable. And a dependency injected request variable just adds another parameter to your method definition that's not necessary at all.
Nah. I didn't agree with. Yeah, I did. That's right. I didn't agree with your approach. Matter of fact, I was making fun of you for using a facade.
At this point, I don't use the facade. First of all,
that's what you told John.
No, I said there's.
Reread it.
I said there is a facade, but I don't use the facade. I don't use the DI either. I use the app engine. The
dependency inject all things.
Yeah, I mean, it's still dependency injection because it's using the app variable that's core to the whole Laravel thing. But I'm using the short version, which is just request, open parent, close parent. And by the time that you get to anywhere in your user space code, that's already been instantiated and isn't adding any overhead to the code. Whereas adding dependency injection can add overhead to your code, even for something that's already instantiated. And then using the facades is just something I got away from Laravel a year ago or so.
Yeah, but I guess you just can't then test your controllers without messing with that request object. Where if you're doing DI, you could pass in different values.
Yeah, I don't worry about testing as much as I should. And you can mock the request object. So if you just look up mocking for Laravel, then it will show you how to mock an event, mock a request, mock a mail, all that stuff.
But doesn't that have to be injected? It doesn't affect the request function that you're talking about, right?
No, it does. It does. Because the request function I'm using resolves to the app layer, which uses the dependency injection that's inherent to Laravel. So making a fake request is pretty easy.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out. I mean, I have no problem with the DI portion of it either. Right now, I have very little being injected as is, so it doesn't bother me.
For me, it's whatever makes development easier. It makes it easier to read. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I appreciate you responding to me and giving me an idea of where to go, even though I didn't read it.
That's my job.
Actually, I did see your request server PHP version. It took you 40 minutes to get back to me. In that time, I found what I needed and had 40. It up and running.
40.
You sent the first one at 2:22. Then you came back and said, "Okay, now that now at your computer at 3 o'clock. Okay, 38. I'm sorry, I got my math wrong.
All right, yes. 38 minutes. We take things a little slower here in Colorado.
Fun. All right.
You guys excited about the death of PHP 7.0 and the birth of 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3 this year?
Birth this year. Oh. 7.1 will be dead soon enough, too. 5.6 is end of life, what, next week?
2 days.
Yeah. Yep.
By the time that this podcast comes out, 5.6 will be dead.
Theoretically, he'll still be running a lot of sites.
What are you guys looking forward to for next year in programming?
Didn't we talk about this already? Get missioncontrol.io.
Get missioncontrol.io.
No, I mean, in PHP, in the PHP world, I'm excited for the 7.4.
Get missioncontrol.io. What has you excited about 7.4?
There have been a bunch. Yeah. No, there's been a bunch. There's been a bunch of stuff. They're talking about the JIT compiler.
I keep talking about that.
Yeah, but that's like approved for 7.4 now.
Yeah. I don't know. We're making a lot of progress on a legacy code base that we have with Docker. I'm getting really excited about that because that's really kind of our lifeline to get that up to a current version of Laravel and a current version of PHP. This legacy code base, which is like 10 something years old, is one of the code bases that we injected a Laravel application underneath of it. And it's helped us out a lot as far as keeping that older code base alive and being able to add some modern functionality to it. But we got locked into, I think it was Laravel 5.0 at the time, and struggled getting that upgraded. And then now to get it up to current Laravel, you have to be at least on PHP 7.7.1. So our one developer, Kalen, the guy I was talking about earlier, has been doing a lot of hard work around Docker and has made some tremendous progress with it. So I'm excited about that news. Yeah.
Do you think once that's up and running, you're going to want to start doing production deployments via Docker?
Yeah. I want to move. As a matter of fact,
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
This microservice I'm working on is being deployed via Docker.
The other project,
Really?
the big project that we were just talking about that we have to have delivered a piece of it by the end of Q1 is all Docker. I mean, we don't even have, the whole thing is being developed in the mindset of being deployed with Docker. And it's currently being deployed with Docker in the alpha state that it's in. Yeah, I think Docker is going to be our answer moving forward. Not to discount, things like Forge. I mean, I mentioned
servers. Not to discount things like servers and computers.
Well, I mean, they're still
running
needed.
on computers.
Yeah, they're still needed. It's the same argument.
Is it, John?
No, it's running on a cloud somewhere. It's not a computer. They've got these clouds that they put them on. Yeah. I'm really, really embracing the Docker approach for the more advanced web requirements. I didn't say enterprise. I said web advanced.
What's the hesitation from you, Thomas, on this?
Are you not a fan, Thomas?
I'm just a little surprised because it was 1 year ago where we had conversations about how running Docker on a production system seems crazy.
No, I never said that.
I will pull up the speech you gave at SDPHP.
Yeah, no, I some people in the audience brought up security concerns around permissions and the way permissions were being handled. But it's the same. It's a different variation of the arguments that were out there for virtualization in general, and there are security concerns that you have to take in consideration, and there are things that you need to do differently. But
I think not just that, but I mean, PHP programmers, we were on a main branch, the 5 branch, for 10 years. I think we're slow to adapt when it comes to new technologies, and that's speeding up.
Let's be clear, though, and I've stated this before. When you get to advanced implementations, PHP developers have no business handling operations. They just don't.
Agreed.
And Docker is an operations task. So I agree with you. That's why you don't have developers handling this stuff, because they will implement it poorly. You have people who specialize in system administration and architecture handle it and make sure that they implement it correctly. And this is coming from somebody who considers himself a PHP developer now. So,
When did you give yourself that title?
Yeah. I've seen him good. It's well deserved. He is a good developer. I like giving him a hard time, but at the end of the day, he's good.
Oh, it's getting late. John's getting tired when he's handing out compliments. I'll accept it, though. I don't care.
John's official title, Dick of the Show.
No, that's...
I have not once said, all right, let's wrap it up, except for that one time before we started.
I've not once said that this week, except just now. I just said it, but...
It's still technically been 6.5 days since I last said it.
All right, I think that's a good idea, John. I think we're at a good point to wrap it up.
Well, you're leaving me with a million questions and no doom and gloom.
Okay,
right,
what's your
number one?
You can't have a million. You can have 3, 2, 1, go.
Amazingly enough, I have hundreds. Because the big story this year, 2018, is...
Wait, are you doing doom and gloom?
Data breaches. I am.
Oh.
I thought you said you had a million questions.
Oh, I thought we were just jumping straight to doom and gloom then.
You said you had a million
trying
questions.
To close it. Oh. I do, but I'll save them for next week.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I'm confused.
I'm not confused. I just don't want to be here anymore.
That's his natural state when he gets confused. He's fleeing.
What's your doom and gloom? You got one doom and gloom you can toss out there. And that's only because the listeners love it.
My one doom and gloom for this is the end of the year doom and gloom, the world's biggest data breaches and hacks, and this year being the year of data insecurity. We saw Marriott Hotels, Equifax, Facebook, Firebase, Facebook, MyFitnessPal, Twitter, Sky Brazil, Panera Bread, MyHeritage, Imager, Bell, Discuss, Amazon, British Airways, Dell.
Thomas. I got
into the zone. I got in the zone there.
You're just saying a bunch of words at this point. We get it. There were a lot of data breaches.
Basically, if you're an American, basically everybody. If you're an American, your data got stolen and sold on the black market. And I am very interested to see what 2019 brings, because we're looking at a Democratic House that is interested in data security, that is not accepting Mark Zuckerberg's answers to questions that he gave to Congress, and people who are up in arms about both the destruction of net neutrality and then the increasing insecurity of the global web. And as developers, our interest is in both a free and open internet, but also in a secure internet, and those two things are fundamentally incompatible. Given what American politics has done in the past, which is the wrong thing for the wrong problem. I'm curious to see how this fleshes out in the coming year, because the fact that all my Equifax data got stolen and sold to the highest bidder is kind of a dark undertone that is not spoken about as much as it should be.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to redo the whole what am I trying to even say? The Equifax, the whole credit thing around us as a person, around these 9 silly digits.
Right.
The whole thing has to be changed.
If you have your social security card, for the three of us, our social security card will say on it, not for use as identification. But for your children, it will not say that, because it became so ubiquitous in the identification industries that the American government just threw up its hands and said, well, I guess never mind. So it was never designed to be a secure system, and then it started to get relied upon as a secured system, and now it's been completely compromised and functions even less as a secure system than it used to in the first place. So I'm curious.
Way to bring us down.
My interest this year is the
Good
law.
job.
Want to see how the law changes? Bring it down. I can bring it back up again.
No, I don't.
I can't.
I'm
I
terrified
can't.
what that means to you.
Nope. There's nothing.
Okay,
There's
I'll bring it up again. I do want to take a moment and thank all the people who have been sponsoring us on Patreon, our Patreons. I got them on screen now.
Patrons.
All right, the people sponsoring us on Patreon. I have up on the screen now, and appreciate that. I'm still working on getting out all your levels, all the stuff John promised you, or maybe it was me. I forget. I was really intoxicated that night, but we're ordering the lanyards. We got the Get Mission Control IO lanyards in, so we'll get those out to you guys shortly.
John made big promises. I apologize for him.
He's a jerk.
I tend to do that.
He does.
I overpromise, underdeliver constantly.
Brought to you by DiegoDev.
All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we should wrap it up. I'm actually very happy we got through the episode. I mean, once everything got running,
are we going to?
Huh?
Are we gonna make it through? The way you were ending there, I thought you were gonna somehow stop it.
No, clutch his shoulder.
No, we can't do that. Don't want to freak John out. All right.
Yeah, but our hits would go through the roof. We'd be on the news.
All right, that's it.
Host Heart Attack Live on the air.
134 is a wrap. I'm Eric Van Johnson.
I'm John Gongdon.
I'm Tom Rideout.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly. Oh my God. All right.
You sure thought that was gonna be a take 8 the way it was going.
Yeah,
we only owe Gishu $5 because he bet 5 of his $10 winnings on there being a fourth cut.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna have to edit this one in YouTube. Do some post editing in YouTube on that one. All right, you've got editing duties, Thomas. Is that what I heard?
I suppose I do.
All right, I'm gonna stop.
He said he wasn't going back to work, so.
So, just out of curiosity, anybody, Gishu, Buttery, Crumpets, Michael Dorinda, if you're still listening,
he's long gone.
Were there any other audio issues? Because my screen, my console, isn't making any sense. It looks like John and Thomas's audio are mirrored, and then it also looks like their audio is coming through my mic as well. Is there a way to reduce the chat lag in OBS? No. No, you should be looking at your chat in Discord. Don't look at it in OBS. OBS, the YouTube stream is 30 seconds behind. Even though I tell it not to have a delay, it still adds like a delay.
Yeah, but if you're listening to the YouTube stream and watching that, there's going to be that lag.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He's watching the YouTube stream, and then I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's just that delay. We don't have any control over it. Yeah.
Yeah. My company pays good money to a third-party site just to do encoding for 10 different stream bit rates, and they get back to us after a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it's good. If
we can get more than like 500 viewers, they'll actually bump us up to better quality servers.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I think it's I don't think it's 500. I think it's 1,000. That's why I keep joking about that 1,000 YouTube subscribers because then you start to move up on their servers.
So that's your guys' job.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta
get the word out.
Go out and lie to all your friends about how good we are.
Tell them to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So, man, what a pain in the ass that was to start. And my freaking desktop had a complete meltdown. So I think what I'll start to do is like every Thursday, I'll just do a reboot before we start. Because after the reboot, it seemed to work just fine. Once I got the audios worked out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream, Discord. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.